Good afternoon. It's that time again. Welcome to what ostensibly could be my swan song, my closing act, my curtain call here on Coffee Break Live Update. We'll wait till a few folks arrive. I'm talking to myself. There's only an audience of me. Oh, somebody's arrived. Hello, whoever you are. The audience of one. You're my audience. All right, two. We've got two. Hello, Tana. Welcome to the final edition of Coffee Break Live Update, at least for 2020. Don't know if there's going to be a return engagement. And who's that? Oh, I don't recognize. Well, somebody else is on here. There's some other people. Kathleen. Oh, that's who that is. I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible. I have to remind people, hello, Olive, and I have to remind people that, hi, Lou, we'll talk next week. Time is just going crazy right now. Why? Because today Mercury stations direct out of retrograde, which happens between 5:30 and 6:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. Not British summertime anymore. Hi, David. I thought you were in Malta or somewhere. So the thing of it is, today's a very, been a microwavable Mercury retrograde day for us here in Littleport in East Cambridgeshire. Just all kinds of tech stuff going absolutely wonky. I'm not going to give you the details, the sordid details, but it has been strange. Trying to finish up a cappuccino. It wouldn't be a Coffee Break Live Update without one. Okay, I'm scrambled. Everything's all over the map. Everything's all over the map everywhere. That's just the way it is, and I can't get around it. It is what it are. Thanks for joining us, Kathleen. Thanks, David. I want to get everybody on here. Everybody, all 2,800 people that are friends of mine on Facebook. Get on this. This is the last one. Yes, I am deactivating / possibly deleting on Thursday. The process will start sometime during the evening. Well, actually, maybe start even Wednesday night, around midnight. If you haven't gone to my page, I'm going to post it again in the morning, where you can sign up for my newsletter, which I will use your email address with your permission to be able to notify you of what platforms I'll be on. You'll also have the newsletter. You'll also have any links to YouTube videos or live broadcasts or pre-recorded podcasts on other platforms. And also, I am seriously thinking of resurrecting my radio show. Then I can go live and actually have call-ins with people. That'll be really fun to be able to handle call-ins and also have guests, have interviews. So that's kind of where my biggest interest lies, that and probably podcasting and video. So today being Mercury retrograde, being the United States presidential election, there's a lot on everybody's plate, a lot on everybody's mind, I'm sure. I think after consulting with others of my craft, astrological craft, the consensus so far seems to be not too favorable for a clean getaway, not for a slam dunk landslide on the part of the Democrats. I think the Democrats will probably capture both houses of Congress. I think what's going to be up in the air for a while, from anywhere from a few weeks to maybe even longer, is the presidential results. So we have to recognize that that this has been a very, very difficult 4 years. All right, I don't think we have to recognize anything. I lost my windscreen. Recognize anything that it has been a very difficult and trying time, and I'm leaving this platform on Wednesday night, or late or early Thursday morning, for a lot of different reasons. One of the main ones is its censorship and its manipulation of opinion. And the other reasons are that I just need a break from screen time, period. You know, I need time to reroute my neural pathways. Smartphones are probably the most addictive thing next to crack cocaine that I can think of, or MSG. So it's really time for me to reset. And so even though I'll still be using a laptop for things, I'll be using smartphones for a heck of a lot less of everything. Turn it on in the morning, check for messages, turn it off, turn it on at night, check for messages. The other thing I'm very fastidious about is Wi-Fi exposure and any kind of extraneous exposure from wireless devices. And here's why. You know, I've been following, you know, and I don't care if I'm going to get this video downloaded before Facebook can do anything about it. Back in the spring and the early summer, there was so much censorship going on this platform and many others people were trying to, you know, possibly open a debate about whether electromagnetic radiation from our devices and from, you know, wireless devices or whatever were possibly to contribute or be even a direct cause to the coronavirus spectacle that's all around us. That got shut down pretty brutally by those in command. And here's the funny thing. I look at correlation as being just as valid as empirical research if one can actually do empirical research on the back of correlation of events or correlation of factors, then you get a better, more refined truth or factual outcome. But in absence of that ability to do the research, then one is left with kind of a Sherlock Holmes effect where you have to study the effects of something and work back through the possible causes, not eliminating any possibilities, in order to arrive at the truth. You know, it's a process of elimination, or Sherlock Holmes's deductive reasoning skills, if you will. Having Mercury in Scorpio, which is where it's going to go back into in about 2 weeks, is going to be interesting, because to me Mercury in Scorpio is the perfect descriptor or archetype for a Sherlock Holmes type personality. So we're going to have that in 2 weeks time, right? Around the 14th when Mars goes direct. That's going to be a huge shift, maybe bigger than today. But what makes today big is the fact we had that full moon. We had that full moon Friday, and it's something else, because that Uranus effect conjunct the full moon, and with Mercury just slowing down enough to station retrograde, is what's going to throw this presidential election kind of up in the air. Anything can go next 2 weeks. Anything can go. And nobody can call it for sure. Nobody's going to be able to call it for sure. All bets are off. So coming back to the main subject here about coronavirus, which has been the top dog story of the whole year, and it's even more top dog at the moment. It's really important to understand that in looking back, I mean, you can look at base station installations of 5G that have gone off, and people were saying, well, the first time they was switched on in Wuhan province in China was September of last year. And then 4 months later, boom, there's this outbreak of some type of viral or bacterial pneumonia in Wuhan, China. Here's the thing. We had the big uptick in the spring here in the West, or around the world, almost simultaneously in different parts of the world, right? During that period of time, in October and December of last year, July, October, and December of last year, SpaceX, a division of Elon Musk's company Tesla, SpaceX launched 60 Starlink low-orbiting broadband internet producing 5G, 4G internet satellites. So by December, there were 120 in orbit. 180 actually, 180 in orbit. I think I checked back, I did a lot of research. There were another launch in February and March of last year, and then they stopped for a while. I think there was a small one in May. And then nothing all summer long, right? And then it started up again in September. September 17th, September 30th. October 7th, October 23rd, November 10th is the next one. There are currently, since last, I think October, now there's over 900 in orbit, in low Earth orbit at different latitudes, or latitudes around the planet. With launch of every one of these things, cases seem to spike. Week in, week out, it's like watching two parts of a graph following a curve. The launches go up, so do the cases, so do the deaths. Why is it that there is no big outbreak in London, and yet there are huge outbreaks in Manchester? Manchester rolled out its 5G program and started lighting it up late spring and summer. Okay. London's got them too, but they're scattered in different parts of the city. I cannot stress enough that this is theoretical, what I'm saying. It's a matter of correlation. It's not a matter of empirical research. It's not a matter of scientific testing, because none of that's ever been done with this particular technology since its inception in the 1980s with big Motorola handset phones, you know. It's never happened. There's never been a single bit of research done that is worth a darn. And when it was done, it was accepted by the Federal Communications Commission as being the de facto standard, which hasn't been changed in almost 40 years, 38 years, I think. And that de facto standard has stood still while the rest of the technology has kept on going up into higher and higher bands, gigahertz bands of microwave radiation. Now with 5G, we're in millimeter wave territory, which is even more dense and more can be more damaging to biological structures, i.e. cells, mitochondria, so forth. Also seems to have a great deal more effect, 4G and 5G, on honeybees and migration of birds. There are huge bird deaths going on. A friend of mine in Salem, Oregon, I don't know if he's on today, 40 crows just died in a neighbor's backyard like that. Boom, just dropped in. It's been happening down around the border of Mexico and California. It's been happening in other places of the world just in the last month. Mass deaths of birds just dropping out of the sky. No signs of parasites, no signs of poisoning, nothing like that. This will go on. Coronavirus will go on, and these kind of phenomena will continue the longer that we do not investigate the effects of this new realm, this new level of technological wavelengths that are now permeating the atmosphere and permeating other things. And I strongly feel that I would encourage you to do your own due diligence, to question or at least to investigate. That's important, but what's more important is take the steps and measures necessary for you to protect yourself, protect your consciousness and your biology, and those who you love and those of your family. I'm buying an EMF meter. I got one for my phone, but it looks like our signature here in the house is fairly low, even with the Wi-Fi on sometimes during the day. It's kept fairly low. Why? Because I have a shielding device on the router. Why? Because I have shielding devices on all the devices. If you want to know more about those, fine. Basically, I switched everything from stuff that's man-made to shungite, which is from Corellia, Russia, which you can buy just about anywhere, even on Amazon. You can buy Corellian shungite and get it stick-ons that'll go on your phone, stick-ons that'll go on your laptop or your desktop tower, or on your LCD screens, or on your routers. So basically, there are various places. There are actually gemology sites that sell Corellian of different shapes and descriptions. You can get pyramid-shaped ones. You can get ones as pendants, like this one. All right. Shungite is the most dense form of carbon on the planet. So it's in a way, it's like Mother Nature's bones. It's also the core of your biology is carbon. So we've got that as a healing tool provided by nature that actually knocks down or completely blocks off artificial magnetic radiation from anywhere from down as low as 30 gigahertz all the way up into the millimeter range. So it's been found effective also for cleansing water. All right, so you can use it as a water filter, if you will, and reorients things very nicely. So I bought this pendant from Amazon.co.uk. I bought some stickers that I found from a gemology shop on Etsy, all right, or Etsy, or whatever the name of that shop is. I did a little researching, and it took almost 6 weeks or 8 weeks to get it from. It was from a place in Corellia in Russia, so it's right from the place. You need a good EMF meter. Somebody's asking a question, how do you measure in your home? You just need a good solid EMF meter. Best one I have found so far is available worldwide, United States included, of course. And the unit that I'm getting is also available in the UK. And it's called the EMF-390 Tri-Field Electromagnetic Radiation Detector. It's a 3-in-1 RF 5G cell tower Wi-Fi 10G and data log 2.5 gigahertz spectrum analyzer radio frequency detector ghost hunting equipment. It's good for all kinds of stuff. But this one has been reviewed heavily and be found to be like 4.5 stars all across the board. I will put that in the comments of this live, okay? After the show's over here. Okay. So basically, I'll end this part of my rant. Yeah, Corellia. You got it spelled right. Corellia, Russia. If it doesn't say Corellian, it almost sounds Corellian. Oh, Corellian. That was from Star Wars. That's Corellaion. So we got Corellian, Russia. All right. It has to be from there. You don't have to order it from there, but if you want to get bona fide, you're sure you got the real stuff, get it from a place that is actually sending it from Corellia if you can, okay? Certified. So what we've got here is the understanding that if the environment's toxic, if the terrain is toxic, if our body is got any long-term cumulative toxicity, we're going to get sick, we're going to get ill, we're going to feel out of sorts, we're going to get, not be such happy campers. And that was in a post I made earlier in the week, or last week. And it's the whole point is that, what determines our health is our immune system. And if our immune system is compromised from toxicity within or toxicity without, it can't do the job right. End of story. It just can't do the job right. So our job is immunity. Our job is good health. Our job is self-responsibility in this arena, which I consider, shielding from artificial electromagnetic fields. It's just part of the new regimen. I wish it were not so. I wish it could be, we wouldn't have to deal with it this way, or that technology had been, gone a different direction in terms of being able to create high-speed communications and for doing, very fast processing of data and analyzation. But it didn't, for many different reasons, which I can't get into in this show. So that's important. The astrology coming up, because it's Uranus, which is very much the ruler of this kind of stuff, and it's in Taurus, and that's very much the ruler or representative of Earth stuff, we have a dynamic here that basically is interfacing these two different realms, electricity. We are all electrical beings, all right? The planet is an electrical being, but it's very low level voltage, very low level amplitude. It's very subtle. It's what the ancients and the mystics have called the etheric field, all right? Or the ley lines of the planet, for example, the meridian points of the planet. These are all electrically based. It's also very magnetic, the planetary magnetics. Why? Because of the core of the planet, the molten iron core of the planet. And solar energy is very electrical. And the bands of atmosphere, the upper bands, especially the ionosphere, is very electrical. You find this stuff, somebody's mentioning forest baths. You find the same benefit getting into the salt water of the ocean. Why? Because of the electrolytes, the electrolysis basis of salt in water. A saline solution is incredibly conductive, incredibly conductive. And it enhances our own conductivity. That's why it's such a great cleanser to get into a sea salt bath or an Epsom salt bath. Yeah, get your minerals. Who's talking here? I see these little pop-ups, but I don't know who's saying it. Who's saying what? Hello, Linda. Hello, Jacquemina. Hello, Emma. Hello, Alex. I don't know why this has just stopped working. Hello, Sybil. I'm just saying hi. What the heck? Anybody else new? I said hi to Tana. I said hi to David. All right. So the thing that's essential now is to like, okay, well, what are the, some of us can't take salt baths, Donna. My partner can't because of it, taking too much sodium into her system, even through the skin, will affect the efficiency of our heart medications. So not everybody will like Dead Sea salts or Himalayan salt. I prefer now the magnesium cell salts, as otherwise known as Epsom salts, because there's more than one mineral involved. And they're great for muscle relaxing, but they pull the toxins out in the first 20 minutes that you're in the bath. And if you can hang tough and go wrinkly as everything, hang in for another 20 minutes, add more hot water if you need to, and let the next 20 minutes be the restorative effect of the minerals coming into your cell tissues, all right? That's always better. So when you get that 20 minutes of detox, 20 minutes of restoration, you've got a 40-minute Epsom salt or Dead Sea salt or sea salt bath, period. Any form of salt that you can get that's pure, that's hopefully organic in nature, that will be amazing. That will do probably so many wonderful things for you, you can't believe it. Plus, you'll sleep like a baby. So today we've got the Mercury Station Direct. We've got it. It's going to station direct and start moving forward away from the square it's in with Saturn right now. That will be a relief, certainly, but we're not out of the woods yet because Jupiter will join Pluto at 22 Capricorn. Mercury will still be in a square to that. And this is going to be a weird few weeks. That's all I can say. It's going to be a weird few weeks. Sunbathing, yeah, actually. My friend Jocko's on a roll here. She's just, piping up with all these health tips. Good stuff. But I don't have much more than 5 minutes left. This is 5 minutes of my last Coffee Break Live update. But I'll tell you, once I got a radio show, it's 2 hours. If you can stand me for that long. It won't be on video. It won't be on video. Good suggestion here. Number one immune system thing, love yourself. Pleasure. Okay, nobody says this. Pleasure yourself, in any way that you want, any time that you want. You want to give your immune system a boost, pleasure will do it. Pleasure will do it. Every time. Orgasms are good for you. Whether they're tantric or fun ones, whatever gives you that sense of buzz, you can get that from meditating. You can get it from looking at a sunset. You can get it from a great cappuccino. You can get it from strawberry pie. But, those are replacements. Laughter. Yeah, that's a good one. Laughter. Can you laugh yourself into an orgasm? I don't know, but I've heard of people laughing hysterically after one. I've witnessed that. People cry. It's an emotional purge. It's a cleansing. It's a reset. Boom. Everything resets. Tantrics knew this. The Taoist mystics knew this. it doesn't matter. Don't put a quality or a quantity factor onto what they are. This is where I think Neo-Tantra or Western Tantra has gone completely wacko, is this idea that you have to have bigger, better, more cosmic orgasms. You know, sometimes it's just best the way it was that nature intended. You know what I'm saying? And then when that tension is gone, when that re-equilibrium happens, then you can explore the higher consciousness potentials, then you can explore the expansiveness, and you can explore deeper. And sometimes when you go that deep in the pleasure, then painful things will come up. But as long as there's tension there, it can't happen. There's nothing that moves. Emotions won't move. The inspirations won't come. The awareness won't happen. The ahas won't be there. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, Donna? Girlfriend. There you go. You know. So you got to understand that when you're in a state of pleasure or bliss, and I've said this before, from the Gnostic perspective, you actually, lovemaking of any description will create a aura of impenetrability around you. It's like a golden, I don't want to call it a shell, it's like a field. They call it in the Gnostic text, it was called the Nymphian. And the Nymphian was a impenetrable barrier of energy that could not be, no negative field or negative thought form could actually get through it. And it also was kind of a sort of a shield of invisibility, a cloak of invisibility to those who are doing mystical practices. They couldn't be seen. They weren't just, to any lower vibrational energies or mischief makers. They just couldn't see that person or that couple or whatever. The goddess religions, the feminist core ancestral practices are all based in that. Yes, protection is available by default. Somebody's asked me, with sexuality, really? Yes. Yes, there's an alchemy involved, and the alchemy actually recharges, resets, and cleanses the entire etheric body and the auric field, and opens the pathways. The Kundalini, the polar center between the below the feet, all the way out into the cosmos, So that's one thing I'm going to spend more time talking about on shows or podcasts or my radio show once that's relaunched. The relationship between sex and spirit, the relationship between our relationship of that or with that or in that to nature, to resurrecting and restoring the divine feminine balance with masculine, healing the shadow masculine, which in turn does really start the process of restoration of the ecosphere itself. Oh, how can that be? Well, hang around. There's more to come. There's more to come around that. Because there is no difference. As difficult it is in our limited perspective in this consciousness, looking out of our eyes at everything, there is no out there, all right? There is no out there. The spirit that animates every single one of us exists everywhere in space and time all at once. And so that includes planet. That includes the planetary consciousness, the spirit of the planet herself, Sophia, as she was called by the Gnostics. And when we have that reestablished relationship, then our bodies will be like singing, all the time, if you will, because we will be in that place of perfect equilibrium, perfect balance with ourselves, with our environment, with the other creatures and beings in our environment, with the stones, the minerals, the trees, everything. It cannot be otherwise, and it was that way at one time, all right? But that was then, and we're here now. You know, we can draw upon those stories and anecdotes and ancestral information, but it is not useful to go back and try to relive it and stay there. We're facing another Atlantean moment, yes, another kind of, you know, this is our Rubicon. Are we going to cross this and make it to the other side as a species, as a planetary environment? I don't know. I don't know. But I feel like Neo sometimes is saying it's like you know, each one of us in our own way has to show the rest of our species, the rest of our race, a world without the idea of control or politics or capitalism or want or poverty or starvation or illness. Dis-ease is a symptom. It is not something other than that. It's pointing to something that's out of balance within ourselves or in the terrain. You cannot make war on pathogens, on microbes. You cannot make war. You cannot protect yourself from every single bacterial genus on this planet because they're in you. There's trillions of them in you. The viruses are in you. What happens when they cannot reside in you is they get pushed out. They're called exosomes. Then they become parasitic. They become parasites. You know what? You know what else feeds that? Bad thinking. Negative emotions that are not expressed, that are not resolved. I've gone on exactly 1/2 an hour. It's 33 minutes past the hour, 3:33. I think that that's the perfect place to stop. Again, I'll post the link I'll post it into the comments of this particular presentation, but I'll also post it tonight and tomorrow morning where you can sign up for the newsletter, where you can get a hold of me by email address or phone call if you're here in the UK. Well, you can even dial it from anywhere in the world, I guess. For the time being, I'm keeping my Instagram account, so I'll put that link in there. For the time being, I certainly have a YouTube channel. I'll put that in there. I mean, I'll throw the whole kitchen sink at you. You do with it what you want. But I highly recommend the easiest way is to sign up for the newsletter or on the mailing list, and then you'll get everything. Yeah, but, you know, missing me here, gosh, you know, the whole point of show business, no matter what type it is to always leave them wanting more. Didn't you know that, Tana? It's, you know, having been a musician and a guitar player for, God, how long has it been? I don't want to say it. I don't want to show my age. It's not true. A long time, all right, is that you never save, you know, don't give your best too early. Give it at the end. Give it at the last. So what we'll do is after I'm going into the sort of the underground here for the month of November, but in December I'll start coming back out again and contacting people through the mailing list and start setting up things for what platforms I'll be on, what I'll be doing at the beginning of the year. But I need this break. I really do. I really need it. And I think we all need a break from this. You know, it's like getting boring. I think that's probably an understatement. It's not only getting boring, it's like the comedian Gallagher used to say, this has been more than a pleasure, it's been an inconvenience. Because it has been. I mean, really, you know, like living in near solitary confinement for a year. Did you know? Yeah, there's something I'll save to post tomorrow. So Thursday comes up. It's the 5th of November here in the UK. It's Guy Fawkes Day, and I'll close with this, that if you haven't seen yet the movie V for Vendetta, I highly recommend it. It's incredibly prescient and kind of predictive in the way it's describing Britain at the beginning of this second century or second decade of the century. And great performances. I highly recommend the one that's really when the heroine of the story, the protagonist, female protagonist, comes to her moment of confronting her own mortality. It's a very, very touching moment or scene, very powerful. But more than that, it's like I thought, you know, we have to remember these times. And so the UK is going to go into lockdown again for a month, but I think it's going to probably be until January 2021, maybe even till the spring. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to us or what's going to happen to this country. But that's the way it's looking. So what day did they pick to start this? Guy Fawkes Day. The day one brave soul in this country tried to overthrow the Houses of Parliament by destroying them with dynamite. And not because he didn't love democracy, it's because he did love democracy. He did love freedom. And so the tagline of the movie V for Vendetta is freedom forever. And if there is I can't believe there's a single human being on the planet who wants this to go on forever, what we're experiencing, or thinks it's even necessary. In fact, it may end up being counterproductive. There's a survey that came out this morning that says basically 292,000 excess deaths occurred in the US so far this year due to things not directly related to COVID, but because of people committing suicide, becoming ill, and then dying because they've lost livelihoods, they've lost access to medical procedures, they've lost everything. So, is the cure worth it, is the question. I don't think so. I don't think it speaks well of us to think that the only way through this is to deny human contact or freedom or denying people the truth of what's really going on. Because I think they're afraid that if people knew the truth, then we would probably want to change this world a lot faster than it already is. I hate to end on a sort of somber note, but you just have to look at what is so and observe it and state and, you know, confront it. You have to be willing to confront it and then see where that hits you inside of yourself. Or nothing changes. Nothing can change. So I think I'll leave it there and say, you know, like Neo in the Matrix, I'm going to show the old world that wants to keep things going the way it has been going. I'm going to show them a world without them. I'm going to show you a world without them. A world without borders, a world without constraints, a world in which anything is possible. And there's my happy ending. Okay? Bless you, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in for all these months and years since, gosh, it's been 2012 when I got back on Facebook, so it's been 8 years. And look after each other and look after yourselves, of course. And sign up for my newsletter so you can get updates, by golly. If for some reason you don't get on board before Thursday, my Messenger account should still be working for a while, so you can always catch me through Messenger and send me your details or ask for a link. And then I'll probably phase that out at the end of November. Messenger will go. I don't know, I'll probably be keeping WhatsApp for a while, but I'm moving everything over to Signal or Telegram as messaging services. Anyway, love you all. Blessings on your journeys, wherever you are, wherever you go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And, you know, remember those three things. We're all one. There is enough, and there's nothing you have to do. Adios for now. Signing off. Good day from Coffee Break Live Update, Facebook. November 3rd, 2020. The year of 2020, Anno Domini. And, yeah. Catch you on the flip-flop. Bye-bye.